Could you survive 24 hours building the Great Pyramid? Close your eyes and picture it. Thousands of slaves, cracking whips, bodies dropping in the sand. That image is burned into every movie you have ever seen, and almost none of it is true. You would not be a slave here. But that does not mean you would be safe. Out here, the thing that can kill you is the work itself. It is around 2560 BC, Egypt, the edge of the desert. The sun is not even up, and your day has already begun. You do not wake in a cage. You wake in a town built by the state just for the workers, a town with bakeries, breweries, and storerooms of grain. Because here is the first thing the movies got wrong. You are not a slave, you are paid. Paid in bread and in beer. Beer was not a treat here, it was wages and a daily ration. You eat meat that most Egyptians rarely tasted. The bones dug up here prove it. Cattle, goats, and fish by the thousands. As one archaeologist put it, the pyramid workers were fed like royalty. You belong to a crew, and your crew has a name. Names we have actually found, scratched into the stone. The friends of Khufu, the drunkards of Menkaura. Not numbers, not property, a team with pride. And if the work breaks your body, you are not thrown away. They built a hospital here. Your fractures get set and splinted. And if you die on the job, you are not dumped in a pit. You are buried in a tomb of your own, in the shadow of the kings. A slave is never buried beside the god-king he serves. So erase the whip from your mind. You are a free worker on the greatest project in human history. Now, look up at what you came here to build. Hour 1. Dawn breaks over the plateau, and the thing in front of you should not be possible. A mountain of stone, 2.3 million blocks, each one weighing, on average, 2.5 tons. That is the weight of a car, stacked over 2 million times. 6 million tons of rock in a single building. When it is finished, it will rise 146 meters high. The tallest structure humans will build for nearly 4,000 years. Nothing will pass it until the great cathedrals of medieval Europe. And some of these stones did not come from nearby. The granite inside was floated down the Nile from Aswan, 800 kilometers away, block by boat. Some of those granite beams weigh as much as 50 tons each. When it is done, the whole pyramid will be cased in white limestone. Polished, smooth, blazing in the sun, visible for miles. And it will be aligned almost perfectly to true north. All of it raised with copper, rope, and muscle. No iron, no wheels under these blocks, no pulleys, no machines. 20 years to finish, tens of thousands of workers. Do the math, and it is staggering. Working 10-hour days, a block must be set every 2 minutes. Every 2 minutes, for 20 years, without stopping. That is the pace you are about to join. You walk to the quarry as the heat begins to climb. Men are already cutting stone from the bedrock with copper chisels. They pound, split, and lever blocks the size of furniture out of the ground. Your job is to move one. A team wrestles a 2.5-ton block onto a wooden sledge. Then comes the trick the movies never show you. A man walks ahead of the sledge, pouring water onto the sand. It looks pointless. It is the opposite. Dry sand piles up in front of the runners and stops you dead. Wet sand packs firm, and the friction drops by half. With water on the sand, your team needs half as many men to pull. So you haul, rope over your shoulder, feet digging in. The sledge grinds forward across the desert, one stone among millions. Ahead rises the ramp, a vast slope of brick and rubble against the pyramid. And now you drag your 2.5 tons up the incline. The sun is overhead. Hour 12. There is no shade. The stone burns to the touch. Sweat stings your eyes. Your palms are raw with rope burn. Your crew chants to keep the rhythm, to pull as one. Because if one man slips, the whole load can roll back. And a block that rolls back does not care that you are free. This is where the real danger lives. Not in a whip, in the weight. The skeletons of these workers have been dug up and studied. And their bones are a record of pain, spines crushed and bent from carrying loads, year after year. Arthritis grinding through the backs and knees of men barely 30. Broken arms, broken legs, crushed hands. The most common breaks are exactly where a slipping stone would catch you. Many of them were healed, set carefully by the workers' doctors. But healed bones only prove how often bones were broken. And not everyone got back up. Some of the skeletons here died of their injuries on the site. The average worker lived just 30 to 35 years, barely half the lifespan of the nobles they built the tomb for. The work did not only risk your life in an instant, it spent your body, a little more, every single day. So could you survive 24 hours of this? One shift. The heat, the rope, the endless weight. Maybe, if you are strong and the stone is kind. But the body you carry home tonight is not the body you woke in. Hour 18. The light turns gold, then red. You look at what your crew added today. A handful of stones, a scratch on a mountain, and yet it rose. Now, the second myth, the one that insults everyone here, that humans could not have done this, that it had to be aliens. Stand on this site for one day, and you will know how wrong that is. We have the quarry, we have the ramps, we have the workers' town. We even have one man's diary. A foreman named Merer kept a logbook, the oldest papyrus ever found. In it, he records his crew hauling limestone to Giza, day by day. Not one line about gods from the sky, just men in boats, in stone, and work. The pyramid is not proof of aliens. It is proof of something far rarer. People, organized. A whole nation that could feed, house, and pay tens of thousands. And aim them all at one impossible idea and hold them there for 20 years. That is the real wonder, not the stone, the coordination. You are one pair of hands in the greatest team ever assembled. The sun sets, hour 24. Your shift is over. You walk back to your town, every muscle screaming. Tomorrow, you will do it again. And so will 30,000 others. Could you survive 24 hours building the Great Pyramid? Barely, and not for many years. But you would not survive it as a slave. You would survive it as a builder, paid, fed, and proud. 45 centuries later, the pyramid still stands. The kings who ordered it are dust. The empire is long gone. The whips of the legend never existed at all. But the thing tens of thousands of ordinary workers raised with rope and stone, it is still here. You pictured a whip. The truth was a paycheck. You pictured misery. The truth was the proudest work on earth. Could you survive 24 hours building the Great Pyramid? The people who did are still casting their shadow across the desert 4,000 years on.